Welcome to Subscriber Sunday, where we take stories from our very own r/Daddy Cringe subreddit and read them out for the world to hear. In today's stories, homophobic interviewee wants to get a director fired. Entitled dad yells at my friends for being bisexual, then gets punched in the face. A Karen in disguise tells us we're not doing our jobs good enough and wants to call corporate because we laughed at her. What is up, guys? I do hope you're well and welcome to another Subscriber Sunday. If you do enjoy Subscriber Sunday and want your story shared, head on over to r/Daddy Cringe on Reddit and share your stories there, and hopefully we will get them on the next video. And if you're new here and enjoy Reddit stories, please consider hitting that like, the subscribe button and that notification bell, as it really helps our channel out. And with that being said, let's get started. Our first story is from, oh my word, what is that? Even Reptile Snaky? I'll go with that. Homophobic interviewee wants to get a director fired. Mobile, I suck at spelling, but I promise I'll try. I work for a scheduling company. Legally, I'm not allowed to say much about specifics, but they aren't important in this story, thankfully. This happened yesterday, so it's pretty fresh and my skin still crawls. Cast me Director 1 and Director 2, D1/D2, and homophobic interviewee, HI. A call comes in and it's first come, first serve in our system, so I get it first. It's a guy upset, 40 minutes early for his interview. I know it's always good to be early, but our upper management run a tight schedule and that's a bit way too early, and they're usually crazy busy until right before the interviews. He calls. I say, company, this is OP. Yes, I came to interview for you guys, and the lady, who I assume is the director, was apparently rude to the first woman early, like me, because the lady stomped out. I walked up and tried to shake her hand, and she didn't. She just said, "Man, I'm sorry you're too early and have to wait." She didn't even call me sir. Me, frustrated at the misogyny already. Sure, he's fudging their words. I understand your frustration. I can create a ticket for you. That way corporate is notified. HI then said, "That'd be great. Thanks, sweetheart." It's worth mentioning my customer service voice is apparently so endearing, I get propositions every other day. Joke's on them, I'm not much to look at. I'm maybe a 7 on a good day. I start asking him basic info, name, number, office, etc. He wouldn't let up. Yeah, I'm telling you, she was a real bitch. Wouldn't even shake my hand, looked like a damn lesbian to be honest. Probably why she didn't want to shake a man's hand. She's just jealous she ain't one. Cue ridiculous laughter, but when I stayed silent, he insisted he was joking. I said, anyways, okay, I created a ticket for you. Good luck on your job search. He then says, you should fire her. Hire a real man over a director like me. Call me when you're ready. I could even be your boss someday, honey. Creepy old dude laugh. And then I say, okay, bye. Before I fully submitted it, I requested the advice of my 2 directors on the notes. They're supposed to be detailed as fuck. I asked if homophobia should be included. They tossed it around and eventually said no. Okay, ticket submitted. D1 said, that's just crazy. What office was it for? I say, this office, why? D2 gasps and covers her mouth. That director is trans, what the fuck? I immediately am furious. Being queer myself made that convo problematic in the first place, but finding that out made my blood boil. But I wasn't allowed to do anything. They just messaged internally to warn everyone of the situation privately. Hope they don't get in trouble because of this hateful, misogynistic, transphobic asshole. I didn't mention trans in the title because I wanted you to experience it the way I did. I may update if anything happens, but I'm pretty sure this is where it ends. Who goes to an interview and says that sort of stuff? I mean, in a couple of jobs before, I've had to be in charge of temporary workers, and respect to temporary workers. Sometimes you get really good ones, but the majority, in my experience, they were awful, awful people. I mean, one of them literally came in, went into the toilet and started smoking weed. You could smell it through the door, and he had to knock on the door and say, dude, I know what you're doing, just go please. And another one, we had to try it and tell him to leave because he just wasn't working. Called me outside and said, look, we've got to go and have a fight now. And that's literally what he said. I was like, come on, man. Come on. Our next story is from Bursting Boo. Entitled dad yells at my friend for being bisexual, then gets punched in the face. Second post here, blah blah, all that jazz, and hi daddy cringe. Hello yourself. Cast, ED, take a guess, EM embarrassed mum, not entitled, FF1 female friend 1, FF2 female friend 2, me hardcore wee brony, WBF wrestler best friend. Whew, what a cast. Okay, now let's begin. Me and my friends were hanging out at our local mall. We were doing some Pokemon battle tournaments on our 3DSs. We decided to take a break for lunch and my two friends went to Panda Express, while me and my WBF went to get some pizza and buffalo wings. When we were contemplating on what to get, we hear some yelling in the background. I just happened to look over and see this 30-year-old something old man yelling at my friends over at Panda Express. Me and my WBF quickly ran over to see what was going on, thus the following conversation. Edie said, "What you two young ladies are doing is disgusting and is a sin to everyone here." FF1 is already about to cry. FF2, "So what? We are holding hands, we're dating, is that a problem?" "Yes, you're committing a sin against God." WBF said, "Why the fuck are you doing yelling at our friends like that, you a-hole?" And I said, "Yeah, would you like it if someone yelled at you like that?" The embarrassed mum turns around and says, "Honey, just leave the two girls alone, you're upsetting our son." Edie walked away with his wife and kid, at least that's what we thought. We went into GameStop next, and lo and behold, who do we see but the ED? Ugh. Then this is what set off my WBF. Edie said, "Oh look, it's the queers again. They should be thrown out of here." My WBF was so pissed off that he went up to Edie and punched him as hard as he could. The police were called to the scene, but EM said she didn't want to press charges because her husband deserved it. Then divorced him on the spot. My friends are still together, which makes me happy, and I'm really glad to see Edie got what he deserved. Hope the story wasn't too long. Yeah, another piece of shit that just walks around and judges everyone. Yes, and deserved the punch in the face. I don't think you can really judge whether he got divorced on the spot there. She probably left him and got really angry with him, but who knows if they're actually together or not now. Usually find people like that are very manipulative and can worm their way back into the relationship and stuff like that, so who knows, but great story. And our final story is from, you guys are testing me with these names today, Zephyr Sappho. A Karen in disguise tells us we're not doing our jobs good enough and wants to call corporate because we laughed at her. "Hi Daddy, I've been with this channel for a while and I'm a huge fan, man. Thanks for always making me smile with them." That touches the old heart, that does. Thank you so much, really appreciated. Yes, I'm on mobile, it's 5 in the morning when I'm writing this, and if there's some misspelling or grammar errors, I apologise. This all happened today, and it might be a bit of a long story, so buckle up. Some backstory, I work in a retail store in a mall and we're severely understaffed. Literally only being me and my supervisor. We're both 18, so pretty much literally kids running a store. Our old store manager got fired for sexual harassment against staff. We all complained about it, but being a minor at the time, they took it even more serious. And after hearing everyone's personal incident, it seemed that it was mainly against me, as I ended up coming forward to one of our old supervisors and reported to HR and suggested I get the authorities involved. But it's unclear whether or not I'm going to court against her, as I agreed to press charges when asked, and for hiring me while I was underage. At the store I work at, you have to be 18, as we do sell adult novelty products in the back of the store so kids won't see them, and as a result, I was put on my leave until my 18th birthday, which was 2 weeks ago, and I just came back to work this week. And upon returning, I learned pretty much the rest of our staff, along with our old 2 supervisors, pretty much the last of our management, had quit, but one other associate, who was temporarily promoted to supervisor by the district manager, who has control of all of our stores in the district, so he is around very rarely. This is the weekend before the first school where I'm from, and usually there's a lot of people doing last minute back to school shopping, tourists, all that good jazz. We also have a lot of good deals going on as well, which grabbed the attention of most people walking by, as we're advertising telling people as we greeted them. And it was overall a super busy day, but going pretty well. Until in comes the Karen. No, this wasn't the typical let me speak to the manager haircut combo and all that, but she didn't even come off as one until she came up to us with her daughter and a question about one of our shirts. The cast, Karen, you all know who this is, me, a sleep deprived worker, AS, awesome supervisor. Karen comes up to me, "Hey, so this shirt," points to one of our music shirts on the wall. "You guys don't seem to have that on the rack. Can you possibly order more or look in the back to see if you have any?" It should be important to note that neither me nor my supervisor are allowed to do this, and we get a new shipment this week, which unfortunately didn't include this specific shirt. We also had spent previous day unboxing all the new shirts we received, which were around a good 5 or 6 boxes. I say unfortunately, what we have out is all that we have, but you can order it off our website, as it might be a while before we get more of this shirt. Karen rolled her eyes and sighed before walking away to check the rest of the store. We only had 2 cash registers, so my supervisor and I had to work them both, and weren't able to watch the store. So we did have to call security to do walkthroughs and check that no one was stealing. Every once in a while, she would try and cut in line in front of the others and put a single shirt down, complaining that we were taking too long and we weren't handling the crowd well and being terrible employees. It was literally just the two of us, and we were doing our very best, and everyone was being understanding and patient but this one lady. Finally, we get to her, and this is where the fun begins. Karen says, "About time. God, you guys are really terrible employees." Me, visibly tired and a little bit irritated. "Mum, it's literally just me and him," and points to the supervisor, "working here, and we're doing the best we can with the crowd, so please cut us some slack." Karen looks at me with a shocked look. "I can't believe you guys would talk so rudely to your customers. It's not that hard. After one transaction, you move on to the next. Seriously, did you guys not learn how to do this right?" I look at her daughter and she stays quiet, but it's clear she's embarrassed. I say, "Mum, as you can see, it's really busy today and we're doing our best to ring everyone up as fast as possible." She goes on and on, but at this point I ignore and just ring up her single shirt, which she so desperately needed to buy before everyone else. But she ended up waiting her turn, and as much as my supervisor wanted to refuse her service and ask her to leave, it was against policy to refuse service to anyone. We didn't get paid enough to deal with this shit, and we just want this lady out of the store. I say, "Mum, your total is," and say the amount. "Would you like to pay by cash or card?" She ignores me and takes out a credit card and swipes it. I give her the change, literally a penny, but I accidentally drop it. She watches it fall and lets out a scoff and gives me and my supervisor an annoyed look. But I just pick it up and give it to her, give her the receipt and tell her to have a good day, hoping this would be the end. Boy, was I wrong. As she walked away, the following happened. Awesome supervisor sighs and puts his head in his hands. "Man, I'm so tired." At this point, Karen takes the sigh as a laugh and walks back over with a look of disgust. Karen says, "Since you all think I'm a joke, let me get your names to report to corporate. It's also policy to give your name out fast," which honestly sucked. I say, "Mom." Neither of us laughed. We're both really tired, and she cuts me off. Karen says, "Don't lie to me. I heard you laugh at me. Your name is," and looks at my name tag and pronounces my name horribly wrong, even though it's simple and an easy name, though not common. "And your name is, sir?" and looks at my supervisor. AS hides his name tag and looks to me, visibly distressed and angry. "Hey OP, order us both an espresso please. I think we can really use one right now." Note this was code for needing security immediately. I nod and turns my back to call for them. It's important to note that I have severe anxiety and stress induced asthma. Last part important for later. And at this point I was shaking like a leaf and my voice was trembling a bit as I called. I kept my back turned. I don't remember what was said between my supervisor and Karen next. All that was going through my mind was hoping that security would either come and get this lady or she would just leave. After she finally leaves, I stand looking at the ground, visibly shaken up. My supervisor sends me on my break and told me that'd take as long as I needed. So I ran to the back and ended up having a full-on anxiety attack. I was sobbing uncontrollably for about 15 minutes and hyperventilating to the point where it nearly triggered an asthma attack, and I was still struggling to control it. Even though we had no other bad customers, and even had some try to cheer us up, I still couldn't shake off the stress and feeling from that woman. We ended up calling our district manager and corporate to let them know that a woman complained, and we explained our side of the story, and that we had witnesses and security cameras catching the whole ordeal. I don't know if she's called corporate about us yet, but I'll give an update when I hear back. So sorry it was a bit of a long one and a jumbled up mess, but I have a few other entitled parents / people stories. Let me know if you want to share. And of course, share those stories. Retail stories are generally great stories, but I'm so sorry you had to go through that from one entitled bastard. They just don't learn. I don't understand. It's like I go into any store, like just let's take McDonald's for example. You go there and you expect a quick meal. Sometimes it doesn't happen and you're stood there for a good 10 minutes because they're under pressure. They're human. What is not to understand about that? Why do you get so upset that someone's just taken a little bit of time to do their job? Appreciate that they're doing the job to begin with. Yeah, that's my little rant over. Just a little one. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please click that like, that subscribe button and maybe that notification bell. And if you'd like maybe your story shared, don't forget to share it on the r/DaddyCringe subreddit, and we will try to get round to it on the next Subscriber Sunday. Much love, take care, goodbye.